Hi guys, this is Andrea, and today I thought I'd show you a behind the scenes peek about how I review your transactions when you submit them for funding. So the first thing that happens is I receive an email alert like this one. I have received a new task, table funding, from Shelley Dawn Leach, and it's due Wednesday. It's closing Wednesday, so I know I've got to get on it because today is Monday. Now, if you don't fully go through this submit process, I do not receive this email, and that's why sometimes, every now and then, I get a call from a panicked agent. Why haven't you sent the CDA? Well, truthfully, it's because I had no idea that you had a closing because I didn't receive this email alert. That's why it's so important to finish the entire process. And a lot of agents send me a little heads up text message as well, and that way it's a fail-safe method that if I didn't get an email, I get a text from them, I can go check, and then we can solve any problems or finish anything that was missed. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the Ready dashboard. I'm going to go to my tasks, and I will see that there it is, the table funding request from Shelley Dawn Leach. So I'll click on that, and I will review the transaction. Okay. And this kind of gives me a little snapshot about it, the sales price. I can see that it was a residential seller, so she's representing the seller. And I just start going through the documents, review. Okay, so first things, usually the information about brokerage services. Make sure everything is filled out correctly, that it's signed, initialed by her client, which it is. So I'll approve that one. Next is the listing agreement. And I'll just kind of go through there. And in particular, I'm looking to see what commission she listed it for, because that's going to be important at the end when we figure out the commission to the agent. So she listed for 6. And just kind of go through there and make sure everything's initialed, which it is. Okay. Doesn't take too long. And I'll approve that. And seller's disclosure for the listing. And I'll just really make sure this is in here, because the more important document that I'm concerned about is the seller's disclosure signed by all parties, signed by both the seller and the buyer. So this one I'm probably just going to go ahead and approve. I'm just going to make sure it's in there. Okay, so it is. And she's amended the listing agreement, so this is interesting. She has changed the price to $411,000. And remember, if your seller ever asks you to change the price in the MLS, whether it's a price drop or very rarely a price increase, you need the seller's permission to do so, and we do that through an amendment to the listing. So never drop the sales price in the MLS without an amendment like this, okay? Because the seller could come back, say you lower the price, and all of a sudden you start generating offers, and you get things in, you bring it to the seller, and they're actually upset because they've all of a sudden in their mind thought that they could have gotten more. Why did you drop the price? Well, Mr. Seller, you told me to, but you have no proof. So that's why you always have to have the amendment. Okay, so she has that, and it is signed. I'm going to approve it. And here is the contract. So I will look at this and make sure all the I's are dotted, T's are crossed. And remember, I look at these as they are getting ready to go to closing. So if you are a newer agent and you want me to review your paperwork prior to it even getting to this point, or prior to submitting an offer, you're welcome to send it to me from Zip Forms, or give me a call, and I can always go into the dashboard and take a peek at your paperwork without you having to submit it. So that would be something different. This is an experienced agent who's obviously got her paperwork in order and knows what she's doing. So parties, everything looks good. If you were related to a party in the transaction, this is where you would disclose it. Look at the sales price, because that'll be dependent upon the commission. She's got it with Sendera, which is nice. And let's see, I'll just kind of scroll through here, just make sure it's signed on all pages and make sure it's executed. Sometimes we get the contract uploaded to the dashboard that's not executed, and that's not good. We always want to make sure we put the executed contract in here. And there it is, the executed date, 5th of August. Okay, and then that's just it. So I'm going to approve that. And the seller's disclosure, and I'm not going to go through the seller's disclosure and see what everyone disclosed. I'm just making sure that the seller assigned his name to what they've disclosed and that the buyer has initialed that they have received it. And in this case, that is true for both. But if you ever do want us to review a seller's disclosure with you ahead of time, feel free to call or email it to us and let us know. Happy to do that. Okay, so I'm approving that. This one is in an HOA. So we're going to just make sure, again, it's signed off on. We don't want any surprises when dues for HOA come due, and the new buyer is, we don't want them to be surprised. So we'll approve that. And third-party financing addendum. And this is the VA loan. And I think that might be what the amendment is, because I believe in the contract they actually had a down payment. So let's see. Yes, they've changed their down payment to 0 and sales price $350. Changed the closing date, and they've signed it. So all is good. Looks good. Well done, Shelley. So I will affirm that all the documents are signed and executed. Oh, last one. I didn't approve it. See, the system has a lot of fail proofs in it, so it helps you stay on track, even me right there. So, okay, now I can approve because I finally approved that document. And we're going to create the CDA. And she's got the information in here. It's with Sendera, Vanessa McCaffrey. She's getting 3% since she's representing the seller. We do not worry about the other agent's portion in the CDA. So just for your information, the CDA only pertains to your part of the commission. So she's getting 3%. Ready Real Estate's taking $250. Okay. And some agents provide their wiring instructions here, which is important, especially if it's not at Sendera. Sendera will keep everything on file, and you usually never have to do anything twice with Sendera. But if you're at a whole bunch of different random title companies, it's your responsibility as an agent to make sure that they have your instructions on how you would like to get paid, whether that's through a wire, a direct deposit, whether you want a check FedEx to you or mail to you, or if you want to pick up the check at the title office. It's up to you to let them know. So I will give them our instructions. Okay, and I use little keyboard shortcuts from Chrome extension, which is kind of nice, so I can only type in a few letters, and it auto expands there, which is kind of nice when you type the same thing over and over again. Please pay agent per her instructions, and Vanessa will know. And I authorize this funding. I'm creating the request, and then I will send it by email to Vanessa and to Shelley. Sent, and the CDA has been sent. And that's it. So now it's the title company has been authorized to pay Shelley her portion, to pay Ready and how to send us our money. So it should be a very smooth closing. And hope that maybe gives you a little idea about what I go through and why it's so important to make sure all your documents are correctly signed and initialed, because if I see something that's not, I'm just going to have to go back to you and get it fixed. And again, it's for your protection, it's for our client's protection. These are legal documents, and we need to make sure that they are done and executed correctly. So that's why I'm such a stickler about things like that. But hopefully you understand now, and if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great day.